That crash involving a stolen vehicle comes as Wichita police share new details on a task force aimed to crack down on some of that property crime. Keenan Penn explains what crimes they're focusing on and the message they're sharing with the criminals.
Mike, that message is that they have zero tolerance and expect to see them in those problem areas. We're talking property crimes focused on things like shoplifting and break-ins. Today, they're sending a message right back to the people committing those crimes.
If you are thinking of taking what isn't yours, know that we're watching.
Wichita police sending a message to thieves across the city.
Property crime may not be inherently dangerous or violent, but make no mistake, you're leaving damage behind.
The Wichita Police Department formed the Property Crimes Reduction Task Force, a division that partners with local businesses to combat property damage and retail theft.
Property crimes affects big business. It affects small business. It affects the community as a whole.
Captain Casey Slaughter heads the task force and says that the strategy is a combined effort using data, more patrols in problem areas, and more surveillance. In the 2 weeks since its launch, the team says it stopped dozens of crimes and recovered more than $600,000 in stolen property. Chief Joe Sullivan says that it will continue full speed ahead.
These numbers are just the beginning as we work to safeguard our community and local businesses.
And to those criminals,
from this point on, if you're committing these crimes, you're going to face every consequence the law allows.
And even with the progress being made, police are urging people to continue to do their part, report suspicious activity, and to not leave firearms in vehicles ever. Mike?